Hi guys, I just wanted to do a quick language review, just some information you guys already know, but just to give us a way to practice. And we're going to start out with our state of being verbs and helping verbs. We're going to start out with that. We know that verbs are action or state of being. And so these are our state of being verbs. And I'll back up a little bit so you guys can see this a little better. There we go. And I'll send pictures of this out as well, just for your parents to have for extra practice. Okay, so am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been, have, has, had, do, does, did, shall, will, should, would, may, might, must, can, could. Now, I want to see if you can say it with me, and I want to see how quickly you can say it. You need to impress your parents by showing them how quickly you can say these and say them all in the right order and correctly. Ready? Go. Am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been, have, has, had, do, does, did, shall, will, should, would, may, might, must, can, could. Okay, I'm going to slow them down and I'm going to speed them up one time. Am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been, have, has, had, do, does, did, shall, will, should, would, may, might, must, can, could. One more time quickly. Am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been, have, has, had, do, does, did, shall, will, should, would, may, might, must, can, could. Okay, so I think we have those. You go to the next chart, and these are the personal pronouns. I know personal pronouns. Let me see if you guys can get that in. And again, I'll send a picture. All right, let's start with our subjective case. Subjective case. Okay. I, you, he, she, it, we, they. And then go to your objective case. Me, you, him, her, it, us, them. And then our last one, possessive case. My, mine, your, yours, his, her, hers, it's, our, ours, their, and theirs. Now, I'm not practicing these quickly this morning, but that's something that you guys can practice. And I would go case by case. Like I would do the subjective case, then the objective case, and then the possessive case, and learn them like that. And then maybe even go across the chart, because that's why you guys see almost pointing like an arrow. I becomes me, then my and mine in the possessive case. And remember that the possessive case, subjective case is in the subject of the sentence, but the possessive case it shows possession. It shows ownership of something. Okay, and that'll come up again. But personal pronouns, pronoun, remember, replaces a noun. Let's say Mrs. Ellis. Well, I could replace Mrs. Ellis, or me. Okay, the chart or the pencil or whatever it may be is mine. That is my pencil. This is my chart. Okay, that is possession. Okay, it's showing possession, but showing ownership of something. All right, and then the prepositions, especially for 5th grade, 4th grade, you guys will be getting into the prepositions, and I will do a preposition song, but I'll do that in a separate video, especially for my 4th grade. 5th grade, I know that you guys have learned it to a little bit different tune from last year. Totally fine. I teach it a little differently, not a problem, but for my 4th grade especially, something that you guys will want, because it will help you tremendously. If you memorize a little song, it'll help you remember all of those prepositions. There are, I believe, 48. There might be 46, but there's 46, 48, something like that. So you've got quite a few prepositions, and the song, it's silly, but it really helps to memorize those. Okay, so we're going to get into our parts of speech. Okay, the very first part of speech we talk about, a lot of times traditionally it was taught noun and then verb. Well, we teach verb first because we always need to find the verb, the action or the state of being, what is happening in the sentence. And then that helps us to find the noun, well, helps us to find the subject of the sentence, which will always be a noun or a pronoun. The subject of a sentence always has to be a noun or a pronoun. Okay, so a verb, and I know this is hard to see. Okay, a verb shows action, state of being, helps or links, and we haven't talked about linking verbs, but we will very soon. So a verb basically right now shows action or state of being. Then you have a noun. A noun names a person, place, thing, or an idea. Then you have a pronoun. A pronoun replaces, okay, or takes the place of a noun, and the noun for which it takes the place of is called the antecedent. Okay, that's in your language book, and you guys can look up what the antecedent is. It's the noun for which the pronoun replaces. Now, an adjective describes a noun or pronoun. An adjective cannot describe a verb. An adjective can only describe a noun or a pronoun, and it asks certain questions. So let me pull these out. The adjective questions. So we'll go with this side of the chart. An adjective asks certain questions, or it answers, I should say. It answers, it asks, and it answers certain questions. Those questions are which one, what kind, how many, how much, and whose. So, and remember, let's see, it includes, if you can see this at the bottom of my chart. Okay, it includes a and the. Those are called articles. A and the, not and, but an, A-N, a and the. Those are called articles. They are always adjectives. Okay, adjectives can only describe nouns and pronouns. That's it. Okay, that's their job. And again, these are the questions. Which one, what kind, how many, how much, and whose. They always answer one of those questions. Okay, now we're going to the next part of speech, and bear with me. I'm going to try to find a better way to do this, and maybe even find a stand to put my phone on. It helps a little bit there. Okay, so an adjective, or I'm sorry, an adverb. Now we're going to adverb. An adverb describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Okay, so an adverb describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Okay, they have a little more range. They can describe a little bit more. An adjective only describes nouns and pronouns. An adverb can describe a verb, it can describe an adjective, or it can describe another adverb. Okay, so they're a little more versatile. They also answer some questions. And those questions are what, if you guys remember, 4th grade, we had just talked about this before we went out on break. We had talked about the fact of that the adverb answers the nosy mama questions. Okay, that's what we call them. That's how I always remember them, is the nosy mama questions. It helps. Okay, so the adverb describes verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. And again, I'll send these charts out, picture these out. Where, when, how often, and to what extent, which is why we call them the nosy mama questions, because, you know, mama generally wants to know, where are you going? When you going to get there? When you going to get home? How are you going to get there? How are you going to get home? Okay, so those are the nosy mama questions. But anyhow, so the adverb will always answer one of these questions. And down at the very bottom, you guys will see it includes, adverbs include very, to, T-O-O, so, not, and N''T. And you guys will remember me saying that no, not, and never are never ever verbs, but they are always adverbs. No, not, never. They are not verbs, but they are adverbs. Okay? Because they describe a verb. The N''T, we know that stands for not. So when you're identifying the verb in a sentence, let's say it's the word don't, do, at the beginning of that word, do, that is a verb. The N''T is not. So when you're underlining verbs and identifying verbs, you would underline the do, usually twice in our books, underline the do, but not the N''T. So make sure that you are very careful. No, not, never, are never verbs, always adverbs. So remember that. Put that up for now. And then we just went over the adverbs. Prepositions, like I said, I'll come back to prepositions. I'll do a preposition song for you guys. And that way, 4th grade especially, you guys can practice. 5th grade, practice your prepositions. You don't have to use my song. You can use the song you learned last year. But really important that you guys practice those and that you're able to identify those. So anyway, I hope that video helped. Let me know where you guys need help. Let me know if there's some other review that I can do for language, and I will be happy to help you guys. Bye.